Good afternoon, friends. Another video, important one, and we must take a note of it. Let's say you're filing your GSTR 1 and your liability is only 1 lakh rupees. But by mistake, to error is human, clerical error. If one extra zero got added and you have filed GSTR 1 which was having 1 lakh rupees liability, now it is 10 lakh rupees liability. Quite obvious, you will pay only 1 lakh rupees through GSTR 3B. So there would be difference of 9 lakh rupees, right? GSTR 1 versus GSTR 3B. 1 लाख रुपए की लाइबिलिटी थी, गलती से एक जीरो एक्स्ट्रा लग गया. टू एरर इज ह्यूमन. आपने 10 लाख की लाइबिलिटी दिखा दी GSTR 1 में. 3B तो आप 1 लाख से ही भरेंगे. डिफरेंस 9 लाख रुपए का. इस डिफरेंस का क्या होगा? व्हाट इज गोइंग टू बी फॉर द डिफरेंस ऑफ 9 लाख रुपीज? As per explanation under section 75 subsection 12 of CGST Act, effective from 1st January 2022, it is self-assessment tax. It can be recovered even without issuance of so-called notice under section 73 and 74. Let me tell you, this particular point is very interesting from both sides, from taxpayer side and department side. Sometimes there is error, omission, mistake from the taxpayer, honest and genuine taxpayer, clerical error, human error. But sometimes there are fraudulent supplier filing GSTR 1 with 10 lakh rupees to pass on the fraudulent credit to the buyer for 10 lakh rupees, but only paying tax of 1 lakh rupees through GSTR 3B. So government wanted that such fraudulent credit which is being passed on by the fraud supplier should be stopped. That's the reason, looks like to me, they have brought this provision कि इनको रोका कैसे जाए. पर इनको रोकने के लिए we are making such a stringent provision which will create unease of business. And let me explain and discuss all this thing with all of you. Yes, there's a difference between 1 and 3B. 48 GST Council meeting has taken cognizance of, और उनने भी कहा हम इसको क्लैरिफाई करेंगे, and they will make change within the GST law. So rule 88C got introduced by notification number 26/2022, effective from 26 December 2022. And what this is saying, listen very carefully, then I will do the analysis. This is saying that if there is difference between 1 and 3B, then you will get notice in part A of DRC 01B. Online and through email you will get this deficiency memo, you can say, basically, for difference in 1 and 3B. Part A DRC 01B. Then what you would be doing as a taxpayer, either you pay the differential amount along with interest, or reply, furnish your reason reply why this difference is coming out in part B of DRC 01B, and time given to you within 7 days. Within 7 days. I'm not making any comment, but that is how they are given the time. If you don't reply within 7 days or don't pay within 7 days, now they are saying they will initiate recovery proceedings under section 79 of CGST Act. So wake up call. Recovery proceedings under section 79. My answer to all of you, those who are watching this video, yes, I understand there are certain fraudulent supplier and they have done these kind of transaction in the past. As against 1 lakh, they have filed GSTR 1 for 10 lakh rupees to pass on fraudulent credit and paid only 1 lakh liability through GSTR 3B. But do we really make law looking at such fraudulent supplier? There are genuine and honest taxpayers as well. To my mind, in my submission, this Rule 88C can be challenged in the court of law. It is ultra vires. Why ultra vires? Let me tell you the reason for that. Reason number 1. Section 37, which is for GSTR 1, is giving me time period, which is till 30th November, following the end of relevant financial year, for rectification of any omission or error in my GSTR 1. 37 कहता है कि अगर मुझसे कोई गलती हो गई या omission हो गया, I can rectify the same till 30th November. अगर 22-23 में गलती हुई तो 30 नवंबर 2023 तक मैं से करेक्ट कर सकता हूं. जब मैं करेक्ट कर सकता हूं तो आपने रिकवरी कैसे स्टार्ट कर दी? या तो आपका रूल 88C जो आपने इंट्रोड्यूस किया उसकी कोई बैकिंग नहीं है, या फिर सेक्शन 37 जो मुझे पावर देता है रेक्टिफाई करने की, उसका कोई औचित्य नहीं है. बट आई ऑलवेज अज्यूम प्रोविजन ऑफ द एक्ट इज इंपॉर्टेंट rather than rule. Rule cannot be contradictory. That is the reason I said this rule can be challenged in the court of law and can be said that it is ultra vires. Second argument. Section 61, scrutiny notices, right? And scrutiny notices come only from our return filed. So section 61 is already there, which is saying scrutiny notices can be sent by the proper officer ASMT 10 for any deficiency in my return file GSTR 1 and 3B. ASMT 10 that is existing. You are overriding section 61. So this rule 88C is overriding section 61. Then what is the need of section 61? Are you not making this section 61 OTOs? सेक्शन 61 का कोई लेना देना नहीं है. नो ऑब्जेक्टिव. एंड यू आर ब्रिंगिंग रूल 88C एंड सेइंग ओह 7 दिन में या तो पे कर दे या रिप्लाई दे दे. रिप्लाई के लिए भी तो मेरे पास सेक्शन 37 है, और आप रिकवरी स्टार्ट कर देंगे विदाउट इशुएंस ऑफ सो कॉज नोटिस अंडर सेक्शन 79. Ground level GST officials, we have seen that they don't give due care and they initiate action even without looking at the reality, and these are giving wide power in their hand. Put accountability and responsibility that this will not create a mess. And department, ultimately those who are sitting at top position, they have to listen our voice. That any such provision, of course I do agree they were fraudulent supplier doing this transaction, but we can't create havoc for genuine and honest taxpayer. Some reasonable time should have been given. Otherwise, why somebody has to move to the court and file writ petition, say this rule 88C is ultra vires beyond the provision of law? I have only drawn the attention, but nevertheless, let me also tell you one thing to all the taxpayer. एक बार आपने गलती कर दी ठीक है, 2 बार कर दी ठीक है, पर बार बार आप गलती कर रहे हैं there's something wrong on your part. अब आपको ये बंद करना पड़ेगा. Now we are moving to sequential filing of GST return. हम sequential filing के लिए move कर रहे हैं. And what is sequential filing, you know? Credit in the hands of buyer and recipient is now dependent on supplier who is a tax compliant supplier. अब तो GST में 6 महीने से 12 महीने में आप तैयार हो जाइए कि ये जो गलतियां हम कर रहे थे ना, इन सबको बंद करना पड़ेगा, रोकना पड़ेगा. कैसे करेंगे आप और क्या प्रोविजन है? लिसन वेरी केयरफुली. Rule 59 sub rule 6 also got amended. And Rule 59 sub rule 6 क्या बोलता है मालूम है? अगर आपने preceding period का 3B नहीं भरा, if you have not filed GSTR 3B of your preceding tax period, then you will not be able to file GSTR 1 of your current tax period. I'm in the month of January. Understand in a simple language. Unless I file GSTR 3B of December, I will not be able to file GSTR 1 of January. Simple. Quite obvious. Sometime buyer is struggling that whether his supplier has paid the taxes or not. Sometime he's struggling whether supplier has filed GSTR 1 or not. It will all get smoothened. So supplier will ensure that he's paying the tax and paying correct tax, because he can't leave 1 and 3B difference. 75 subsection 12 is a self-assessment tax. And that is how this Rule 88C which has come. Either you pay within 7 days or reply. So mistake may be once or twice, cannot be repeated. So we have to strengthen 75 subsection 12. Third, section 37. Unless you file GSTR 1 till preceding period, you will not be able to file GSTR 1 for the current tax period. So I have to ensure that my GSTR 1 is completely filed till December. If I have not filed, I will not be able to file GSTR 1 for January. So those who are struggling with credit not auto-populated in 2A for the recipient, for the buyer, because of supplier is not filing GSTR 1 on time, but now he can file with corresponding provision. It need to be read in conjunction with each other. So I was on a point that buyer's credit, recipient credit dependent on supplier. Section 39. And it is saying, unless you file GSTR 1 for the current tax period, January, आपने अगर 1 नहीं भरा, you will not be able to file GSTR 3B for the month of January, current tax period. So reading these provisions in conjunction with each other, the problem which we have faced in the past will be diluted, will go away, mitigated. And of course, we can always say that credit is dependent on supplier. So the time has come, know your supplier in GST for availing credit in GST regime. And that is how these provisions are all about. So I have discussed difference of 1 versus 3B and then sequential filing of GST return as a way forward. Hope these videos are helping you for your preparation, hand-holding. I'm trying my best. If you're having some question, you can always post in the comment box. Time permit, let me say, time permit. I will definitely try to reply back to your queries. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much.